Hello students, how are you all? Today we have the continuation topic classroom teaching exercise questions of equilibrium. Next question 28. Look at the question number 28. For the reaction Cu plus 2Ag gives rise to Cu plus 2 plus 2Ag. The equilibrium constant is given by, first let us write the equation. Cu solid plus 2Ag plus aqueous gives rise to Cu plus 2. Cu plus 2 aqueous plus 2Ag solid. So this is the equation given to us. For this equation we have to write equilibrium constant Kc. So Kc is equal to, so equilibrium constant Kc is equal to the product of concentrations of products by the product of concentrations of reactants. So first we have to write products. Cu plus 2 ion concentration and Ag solid concentration power 2 by Cu solid concentration and Ag plus ion concentration, it is aqueous concentration power 2. So we know very well that the molar concentration of solid and pure liquid is taken as unity. The molar concentration of solid and pure liquid is taken as a unity. Here Ag is a solid, here copper is a solid. So these two concentrations we have to take as a unity. Then equilibrium constant Kc is equal to Cu plus 2 aqueous concentration divided by Ag plus aqueous concentration. So this is the Kc for this given equation. So Kc is equal to Cu plus 2 ion concentration by Ag plus ion concentration. So look at the options. Question number 28. Look at the third option. Cu plus 2 ion concentration by Ag plus ion concentration power 2. So question number 28, third option is correct. Next question number 29. Look at the question number 29. In a reversible reaction, A gives rise to B. Here K1 is the rate constant of a forward reaction and K2 is the rate constant of a backward reaction. The initial concentration of A and B are small a and small b in mole per liter, and the equilibrium concentrations are A minus x and B plus x respectively. Express x in terms of K1, K2, A and B. So first let us write the equation. A gives rise to B. So here K1 is the equilibrium rate constant of a forward reaction and K2 is the rate constant of a backward reaction. So what is the data is given? The initial concentration of A and B are A and B mole per liter. Initial concentration is given. Initial concentration, already data is given. This is A and it is B. So initial concentration of A is A mole per liter and initial concentration of B is B mole per liter. Next the equilibrium concentrations are A minus x and B plus x respectively. So one more data is given at equilibrium. Concentration at equilibrium. Concentration at equilibrium, this is A minus x and this is B plus x. So here small a is the initial concentration of A and small b is the initial concentration of B. And A minus x is the concentration of A at equilibrium and B plus x is the concentration of B at equilibrium. So express x in terms of K1, K2, A and B. So we know very well that rate of forward reaction is directly proportional to A minus x. A minus x. Then rate of forward reaction is equal to K1 into A minus x. Here K1 is the rate constant of a forward reaction. So K1 is the rate constant of a forward reaction. Next backward reaction. Rate of backward reaction is directly proportional to B plus x. B plus x. Then RB is equal to, removing the proportionality by keeping constant KB. So I am taking as K2. Backward reaction I am taking as K2. K2 B plus X. So already we know very well that at equilibrium, rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of backward reaction. Rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of backward reaction. Then rate of forward reaction is equal to K1 into A minus X. That is equal to RB is equal to K2 into B plus X. This is K2 into B plus X. So this equation is written as K1 A minus K1X is equal to K2B plus K2X. Then K1A minus K2B. K1A minus K2B is equal to K1X plus K2X. Take the X common. Then X into K1 plus K2. So here X is equal, this is K1A minus K2B. So what is the question is, express X in terms of K1, K2, A and B. So X is equal to K1A minus K2B by K1 plus K2. So this is the final answer. X is equal to K1A minus K2B divided by K1 plus K2. So look at the options. First option K1A minus K2B by K1 plus K2. So 29 answer is first option. Next question number 30. Look at the question number 30. If the equilibrium constant for the reaction 2AB gives rise to A2 plus B2 is 36. What is the equilibrium constant for the AB gives rise to half A2 plus half B2. So first let us write the equation. 2AB gives rise to A2 plus B2. For this reaction, Kc is given 36. So 2AB gives rise to A2 plus B2. Equilibrium constant for this reaction Kc is equal to 36 is given. Next another equation is given. AB gives rise to half A2 plus half B2. So we have to find out Kc for this reaction. To differentiate I am labeling as Kc dash. So Kc dash we have to find out. So we have to first find the relationship between the Kc dash and Kc. So you learned characteristics of equilibrium constant. The value of equilibrium constant depends on temperature. The second one is it depends upon mode of representation of a chemical equation. The third one, it depends upon stoichiometric representation of a chemical equation. So here we have to find the relation between the Kc and Kc dash. So Kc dash is equal to root Kc. Kc dash is equal to root Kc. This is the formula we have to use. So the stoichiometric representation of a chemical equation. So that is equal to Kc is given. Kc how much is given? 36. Kc is equal to 36. Root 36. That is equal to 6. So Kc dash is equal to 6. Kc dash is equal to 6. Question number 30. Third option is correct. Question number 30. Third option is correct. Next question number 31. Look at the question number 31. The equilibrium constant for the reaction Kc 2SO2 plus O2 gives rise to SO3 when the reaction is conducted in a 1 liter vessel was found to be 2.5 into 10 power minus 3. If the reaction is conducted at the same temperature in a 2 liter vessel, then the value of Kc is. So first we have to take, I am taking a 1 liter vessel. Imagine this is the 1 liter vessel. In 1 liter vessel, the reaction is carried out. What is the reaction? Is 2SO2 plus O2 gives rise to 2SO2 plus O2 gives rise to 2SO3. All are gases. So for the reaction, Kc is found to be, Kc is equal to, how much is given is 2.5 into 10 power minus 3. So 2.5 into 10 power minus 3. So this is the Kc is given. And the same reaction is carried out, conducted in a 2 liter vessel. So I am taking another vessel. its capacity, imagine 2 liters. It is 2 liters vessel. So same equation we have taken 2SO2 plus O2 gives rise to 2SO3. So this is a gas, it is also a gas, and it is also a gas. Now the question is what is the Kc for this reaction? So the reaction is carried out in a 1 liter vessel. The Kc is found to be 2.5 into 10 power minus 3. The same reaction is carried out conducted in a 2 liter vessel. So what is the Kc for this reaction? So the value of equilibrium constant do not depend on initial concentrations of reactants and products. It do not depends on catalyst and do not depends upon volume of vessel and pressure. So the equilibrium constant do not depends upon volume of vessel. Here is 1 liter vessel is there, here is 2 liter vessel is there. So the value of Kc do not depends upon volume of vessel. So whatever the volume of vessel we can take, Kc value remains same. Then Kc is equal to what we will expect? Kc is equal to same answer, 2.5 into 10 power minus 3. So same value we have to take. So what is the reason? The Kc value, the equilibrium constant do not depends upon volume of vessel. So that question number 31, correct answer is 2.5 into 10 power minus 3. Look at the third option. Question number 31, third option is correct. 2.5 into 10 power minus 3. Question number 31, third option is correct. Next question number 32. Look at the question number 32. According to law of mass action, for CaCO3 gives rise to CaO plus CO2, Rf is equal to rate of forward reaction, Rb is equal to rate of backward reaction. Which of the following is true at equilibrium? So first let us the equation. CaCO3 solid gives rise to CaO solid plus CO2 gas. So for this reaction we have to write equilibrium constant. So Kc is equal to the product of concentrations, the product by product of concentrations of reactant. So CaO solid and CO2 gas concentration by CaCO3 concentration. So we know very well that the molar concentration of solids and pure liquids is unity. The molar concentration of solid and pure liquid is unity. Here CaO is a solid, CaCO3 is a solid. So their molar concentration taken as unity. Then we can neglect them. Then the remaining we will get is CO2 gas concentration. So this is the Kc for this reaction. Kc for this reaction. So Kc is nothing but what we have to take is equilibrium constant. Kc is equal to rate constant of forward reaction by Rf by rate of forward reaction by rate of backward reaction. So Kc is equal to rate of forward reaction by rate of backward reaction. Then we can modify this as Rf by Rb. Rf by Rb is equal to CO2 concentration. So this is the final answer for this question. So look at options 32, look at the fourth option, Rf by Rb is equal to CO2 concentration. So 32 answer, fourth option is correct. 32 question number 32, option 4 is correct. Rf by Rb is equal to CO2 concentration. Next question number 33. Look at the question number 33. In which of the following reactions the concentration of reactants is equal to the concentration of product at equilibrium? So first equation is given, A gives us to B, K is equal to 0.01. So first option is given, A gives rise to B, A gives rise to B, K is equal to 0.01 is given. Next B option, R gives rise to, second option R gives rise to P, K is given. K is equal to 1 is given. Third option, X gives rise to Y. X gives rise to Y, K is equal to, how much is given? 10. K is equal to 10. And the fourth option, L is equal to, L gives rise to J. L gives rise to J, K is equal to 0.025. So what is the question is, in which of the following reactions the concentration of reactants is equal to the concentrations of product at equilibrium? So Kc is equal to, we have to take concentrations of products. Concentrations of products divided by concentrations of reactants. Concentrations of reactants. So if concentrations of products is equal to concentrations of reactants, then Kc is equal to 1. Kc is equal to 1. So when the Kc is equal to 1, then concentration of products is equal to concentrations of reactants. So look at the options. 33 question, second option, R gives rise to P, K is equal to 1. The K is equal to 1, the concentration of products is equal to concentrations of reactant. So for 33 question, second option, if the K is equal to 1, concentration of products is equal to concentrations of reactant. So 33, second option is correct. Next question number 34. Look at the question number 34. If the equilibrium concentrations for X2, Y2 and XY are 1.2 into 10 power 3 m, 5.83 into 10 power 12 m and 8.9 into 10 power 2 m respectively. What was the initial concentration of X2 before the reaction occurred to form XY? So first let us write the equation. X2 plus Y2 gives rise to 2XY. So what is the data is given is if equilibrium concentrations for X2, Y2 and XY are equilibrium concentration. So first we have to take initial concentration. Initial concentrations are not given. I am labeling it as A moles per liter. This is B moles per liter. Initially it will be 0. So products are not formed. Reaction is not started in the sense there is no product formation initially. Next equilibrium concentration. At equilibrium. At equilibrium, this will be A minus X and Y will become B minus X. This will become 2X. Next A minus X is given. So A minus X is given, equilibrium concentrations are given. What is the value for A minus X? 1.2 into 10 power 3. 1.2 into 10 power 3 m. This is the A minus X value. So equilibrium concentrations of X2, Y2 and XY are 1.2 10 power 3 m, 5.83 into 10 power 12 m and 8.9 into 10 power 2 m respectively. Next B minus X concentration, equilibrium concentration. How much is given? 5.83 into 10 power 12. 5.83 into 10 power 12 m. And 2x also is given. 2x is equal to how much is given? 8.9 into 10 power 2 m. 8.9 into 10 power 2 m. 8.9 into 10 power 2 m. So what we have to calculate is what was initial concentration of X2 before the reaction occurred to form XY. So we have to calculate A, initial concentration of X2. X2 concentration nothing but A concentration, we have to initial concentration of X2 nothing but A we have to calculate. So first we have to find out X value. Then from the first item taking 2x is equal to 8.9 into 10 power 2 m. So first we have to find out x value. Then x is equal to 8.9 into 10 power 2 by 2. Then we'll get 4.45 into 10 power 2 m. So this is the value of x. Second, we have to find out a value. So to find the a value, we have to take a minus x. So a minus x is equal to 1.2 into 10 power 3 m, isn't it? Then x already we know very well. What is x value? 4.45 into 10 power 2 m. So a minus x is equal to how much? 4.45 into 10 power 2 m, that is equal to 1.2 into 10 power 3 m. So we have to find out a value. Then a is equal to 1.2 into 10 power 3 m plus 4.45 into 10 power 2 m, isn't it? Then here is 10 power 3 is there, and here is also 10 power 3 is there. So I am rearranging the equation as 1.2 into 10 power 3 m plus 0.445 into 10 power 3 m. So we have to add and take 10 power 3 common. Then 1.2 plus 0.445 will get approximately 1.65 into 10 power 3 m. So this is the initial concentration of X2. The initial concentration of X2 is equal to 1.65 into 10 power 3 m. So look at the options. First option 8.83 into 10 power minus 1 m. Second option 1.65 into 10 power 3 m. So question number 34, second option is correct. Question number 34, second option 1.65 into 10 power 3 m is correct option. Next question number 35. Look at the question number 35. AB2 dissociates as AB2 gives rise to AB plus B. When the initial pressure of AB2 is 600 mm of Hg. The total equilibrium pressure is 800 mm of Hg. Calculate Kp for the reaction, assuming that the volume of the system remains unchanged. First, let us write equation. AB2 gives rise to AB plus B. So the data is given is when the initial pressure of AB2 is 600 mm of Hg. So initial pressure of AB2 is given. Initial pressure of AB2 is 600 mm of Hg. So initially the reaction is not started. That means there is no product. So their pressures will be taken as 0. So AB 0 and B also will be taken as 0. So initial in the sense the reaction is not started. The product is not there. So that their pressures will be taken as partial pressure will be taken as 0. Isn't it? Next, what is the data is given is the total equilibrium pressure is 800 mm of Hg. Calculate Kp for the reaction. The total pressure is given. So P total is equal to 800 mm of Hg. Total pressure is given. Next, what we have to do is we have to calculate Kp. Kp we have to calculate. So here is when the reaction is started, some amount of reactants converting into products. So here the partial pressures at equilibrium, I am labeling as 600 minus x. Some amount of reactant converting into product, then partial pressure is 600 minus x. This is at equilibrium. This is equilibrium pressure 600 minus x. Here is the partial pressure of AB is x and partial pressure of B is x, isn't it? Then P total. Total pressure at equilibrium. The total pressure of equilibrium is equal to partial pressure of AB2 plus partial pressure of AB plus partial pressure of B. Then partial pressure of AB2. What we have? 600 minus x plus partial pressure of AB x and B is x. So P total is equal, that is equal to 600 plus x, isn't it? So P total already we know. How much the P total? P total is equal to 800. So x is equal to how much will get to 200. So x is equal to we got 200. Then we have to calculate Kp for the reaction. So what is the formula for Kp? Kp is equal to partial pressure of AB. Partial pressure of AB into partial pressure of B. Partial pressure of B by partial pressure of AB2. So this is the formula for Kp. So partial pressure of AB, how much you will get? Partial pressure of AB, x is nothing but how much we got? 200. So this is x and partial pressure of B how much? X by partial pressure of AB is x, partial pressure of B is x and AB2 is 600 minus x. So this is AB2 is 600 minus x, isn't it? Then so x is equal to how much? 200 we got. X is equal to how much you got? 200. So 200 into x is how much? 200 by 600 minus 400 minus 200, isn't it? Then that is equal to 200 into 200 by 400, isn't it? That is equal to 100. So Kp is equal to 100 mm of Hg. Kp is equal to 100 mm of Hg. Look at the options. Question number 35. First option is 50. Second option is 100. So question number 35. Second option 100 is correct. So question number 35. Second option is correct. Next question number 36. Look at the question number 36. NH2COO NH4 gives rise to 2NH3 plus CO2. If equilibrium pressure is 3 atmosphere for the above reaction, Kp will be. So first let us write equation. NH2 COO NH4. It is a solid, gives rise to 2 NH3 gas plus CO2 gas. So what is the data is given is if equilibrium pressure is 3 atmosphere for the above reaction, P total is given. So P total how much is given? 3 atmospheres. And what we have to do is we have to calculate the Kp for the reaction. So Kp is equal to question mark, isn't it? Then so it is a solid. Then the pressure of and partial pressure of NH3 at equilibrium will be taken as 2x. Partial pressure of NH3 at equilibrium is 2x, and the partial pressure of CO2 I am labeling as x. So here is a solid. We did not take any partial pressure of NH2 COO NH4 because it is a solid. So we didn't take any partial pressures of NH2 COO NH4. It is a solid. So next P total. P total is equal to 2x plus x. Sum of the partial pressures of the products. What we have is 2x plus x, that is equal to P total, isn't it? Then P total, how much we got? 3 atmospheres. So 3 atmospheres, that is equal to 3x, isn't it? Then x is equal to 1 atmosphere. So we got x is equal to 1 atmosphere. So we have to calculate Kp for the reaction. First let us write Kp for this equation. So Kp is equal to, here NH2COO NH4 is a solid. So it will be taken as unity. Then we have to take remaining partial pressure of NH3 power 2 and partial pressure of CO2. Isn't it? That is equal to, so here is NH3 is how much is it? 2x. So 2x power 2, and this is how much? X. Partial pressure of CO2 is equal to how much? X is there. That is equal to 2x. X is equal to how much? 1. So x is equal to 1 atmosphere. So 2 into 1 power 2 into 1. Isn't it? So 2 into 1 you can take. That is equal to 4 atmosphere. Kp is equal to 4 atm. Kp is equal to 4 atm. Look at the options. Question number 36, first option. Option 1 is correct. So question number 36, option 1, 4 atmosphere. So option 1 is correct for question number 36. Next to question number 37. Look at the question number 37. For the equilibrium AB gives rise to A plus B. At a given temperature, the pressure at which 1/3 of AB is dissociated numerically equal to. So first let us write equation. AB gives rise to A plus B. Here AB is a gas, A is a gas, and B also is a gas. So initial number of moles. Initial number of moles, so nothing is going to take it as 1. And initially there is no products formed, its number of moles will be taken as 0. So initially only reactants is left, there is no products formed. So products will be taken as 0. Next, at equilibrium. At equilibrium, this will be 1 minus 1 by 3. So look at the statement, the pressure at which 1/3 of AB is dissociated. 1/3 of AB is dissociated, so that 1 minus 1 by 3. So how much A is formed is 1/3. This is 1 by 3, and B also will be taken as 1 by 3. So 1/3 of AB dissociated, leading the formation of A and B. So 1/3 of A and 1/3 of B. Next, Kp for this reaction. So Kp is equal to partial pressure of A into partial pressure of B by partial pressure of AB. Partial pressure of AB. So according to Dalton's law of partial pressure of ith gas is equal to mole fraction of ith gas into P total. Into P total. Next, here is partial pressure of A. So partial pressure of A is equal to, we can take as a mole fraction of A into P total, isn't it? Next, partial pressure of B is equal to mole fraction of B into P total, isn't it? Then partial pressure of AB is equal to mole fraction of AB into P total. So substitute PA, PB and PAB in a given equation, then we'll get PA, nothing but what we'll get? Mole fraction of A into P total, mole fraction of A into P total, and PB, mole fraction of B into P total by PAB, mole fraction of AB into P total. Isn't it? Then this is Kp. Next, we have to find out N total. N total is equal to total number of moles at equilibrium. So, number of moles of AB and number of moles of A and number of moles of B. So, we have to add. So, 1 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. Number of moles of AB plus number of moles A plus number of moles of B. Then N total is equal, how much you get is 4 by 3. Upon simplify, you will get N total 4 by 3. N total is equal to 4 by 3. So, here Kp is equal to mole fraction of A into P total. Mole fraction of A, how do you get? Mole fraction of A is equal to number of moles of A. How much is the number of moles of A? 1 by 3 into number of moles of A by total number of moles. How many is there? 4 by 3. Isn't it? Into P total. So, XA, mole fraction of A is equal to nothing but what we have to get is 1 by 3 by 4 by 3 into P total. This is a partial pressure of A, mole fraction of A into P total. Next, partial pressure of B, nothing but mole fraction of B into P total. So, how do you get the mole fraction of B? The number of moles of B by total number of moles. Number of moles of B is how much? 1 by 3. So, 1 by 3 by total number of moles how much we have is 4 by 3 into P total. This is the partial pressure of B. Next, partial pressure of AB. So, partial pressure of AB, how do you get mole fraction of AB into P total. So, how do you get the mole fraction of AB? Number of moles of AB, how much is there? 1 minus 1 by 3. So, this is 1 minus 1 by 3 by total number of moles, what we have is 4 by 3 into P total, isn't it? So, here is 1 minus 1 by 3, we can write as 1 minus 1 by 3, that is equal to 2 by 3, directly you can write 2 by 3. Number of moles of AB, number of moles of AB is equal to 1 minus 1 by 3, that is equal to 2 by 3, direct I am taking here is 2 by 3, isn't it? Then upon simplification, so Kp is equal to, upon simplification you get 1 by 8 into P total, you will get 1 by 8 into P total. So, P total is equal to 8 Kp, P total is equal to 8 Kp. So, look at the options. Question number 37, first option 8 times Kp, 16 times Kp, third option 4 times Kp, and fourth option 9 times Kp. So, question number 37, first option is correct, 8 times Kp. Question number 37, first option is correct. Next, question number 38, look at the question number 38. 2 moles of N2 is mixed with 6 moles of H2 in a closed vessel of 1 liter capacity. If 50% of N2 is converted into NH3 at equilibrium, the value of Kc for the reaction. So, first we have to write a equation for this question. So, N2 plus 3H2 gives rise to 2NH3. So, all are gases. And initial number of moles is given. Initial number of moles is given, this is 2 moles and this is given 6 moles. Initially there is no products, so it is 0. So, initially only reactants is there is no products. Next, at equilibrium. At equilibrium, some reactants are some amount of reactants are converting into products. So, here is 2 minus x. This is 6, initial number of moles is 6 minus 3x, stoichiometric coefficient is 3x, and this is how much is it? 2 is there, this is 2x. Here is 2 minus x, only one is there, so 2 minus x. Here is 3H2 is there, 6 minus 3x. Here is 2 moles is there, 2x at equilibrium. And one more data is given. if 50 percentage N2 is converted into NH3 at equilibrium. So 50 percentage of 2 moles of N2. So 50 percentage of 2 moles of N2 is equal to 50 by 100, isn't it? 50 by 100. So 2 into 50 by 100. 2 into 50 by 100, that is equal to 1. That is equal to 1. So here X is equal, this X is equal to 1 mole. X is equal to 1 mole. So at equilibrium, this is 2 minus 1, that is equal to 1. At equilibrium, the number of moles of N2 is equal to 1. At equilibrium, this is 6 minus 3x. This is 3 into x is equal to 1. That is equal to 3 moles at equilibrium. This is 2 into 1, that is equal to 2 moles at equilibrium. At equilibrium, number of moles left is 1 mole of N2 and number of moles of H2 is 3 and number of moles of ammonia is 2. Next, we have to write Kp for this equation. Kp is equal to, what is the formula? Concentration of NH3. So Kc we have to write. We have to find out Kc for the reaction. Kc is equal to NH3 concentration power 2 by N2 concentration and H2 concentration power 3. And volume is given. Volume is how much is given? 1 liter. Volume is 1 liter capacity. Next, that is equal to NH3 concentration. Concentration nothing but number of moles by volume. Number of moles, how many is there? 2 moles. This is 2 by 1 power 2. Isn't it? So here 1 is the N concentration C is equal to N by V. So N is given how much? 2 moles. N is equal to 2 moles. So V is equal to 1 liter. So 2 by 1 power 2. Next, N2 concentration. N2 is equal to how much is there? 1 by 1. This is 1 by 1 into H2 concentration, how much? This is 3 by 1 power 3, isn't it? That is equal to, we will get 4 by 27. Kc is equal to 4 by 27. So look at the options. Question number 38, first option, 4 by 27. So question number 38, first option is correct, 4 by 27. Question number 38, option 1 is correct. Next, question number 39. Look at the question number 39. For a system in equilibrium, delta G is equal to 0 under conditions of constant. Option 1, temperature and pressure. Option 2, temperature and volume. Option 3, energy and volume. Option 4, pressure and volume. So, for a system in equilibrium, delta G is equal to 0 under the conditions of constant temperature and pressure. So, constant temperature and pressure. So, question number 39, first option is correct. Question number 39, option 1 is correct. Next, question number 40. Look at the question number 40. The units of equilibrium constant Kc in general is. So, Kc is equal to the concentrations of the product of concentrations of products by the product of concentrations of reactants. Simply can take as concentration power delta N. So, Kc is equal to concentration power delta N. So, here is delta N is the number of moles of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactants. Then that is equal to concentration nothing but mole per liter. So, mole per liter delta N. So, this is the general equation for units of Kc. So, Kc is equal to mole per liter power delta En. So, look at the options. Question number 40. Third option is correct. First option is mole per liter. Second option is liter per mole. Third option is mole per liter power delta N. Fourth option liter per mole delta N. So, question number 40. Third option is correct. Mole per liter power delta N. Question number 40. Third option is correct. Next, question number 41. Look at the question number 41. According to Van der Waals equation, K varies with temperature as. So, Van der Waals equation is log K2 by K1. Log K2 by K1 is equal to delta H by 2.303 or 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. We can rearrange this equation as log K2 by K1 is equal to delta H by 2.303 R T2 minus T1 by T1 into T2. So any equation we can take. So look at options. So first option, log K2 by K1 is equal to minus delta H, but here we have to take positive delta H. Minus delta H by 2.303 R 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. Look at the second option, log K1 by K2 is equal to plus delta H 2.303 R 1 by T1 1 by T2 plus 1 by T1. Wrong option. Look at the question number third option. Look at the third option, log K1 by K2 is equal minus delta H by 2.303 R 1 by T1 plus 1 by T2. It is also an incorrect option. Look at the fourth option, log K2 by K1 is equal to delta H by 2.303 R 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. So question number 41, fourth option is correct. Question number 41, fourth option is correct. Next question number 42. Look at the question number 42. A vessel A contains 1 mole of each N2 and O2, and another vessel B contains 2 moles of each N2 and O2. Both vessels are heated to same temperature till equilibrium is established. In both cases, then the correct statement is, first, what is the meaning of this question is, I took two vessels. This is the one vessel. This vessel I am labeling as A vessel. And I'm taking another vessel, this vessel labeling as B, A vessel and B vessel, A vessel and B vessel. So vessel A contains 1 mole of N2 and O2. So 1 mole of N2, 1 mole of O2. Vessel A contains 1 mole of N2 and 1 mole of O2. Next, vessel B contains 2 moles of each N2 and O2. So 2 moles of N2, 2 moles of O2. Both vessels are heated to the same temperature till equilibrium is established in both the cases. Then correct statement is. So here first option, Kc N2 plus O2 gives rise to 2NO in A and B are in the ratio of 1:2. Second option, Kp for N2 plus O2 gives rise to 2NO in A and B are in the ratio 1:2. Next, third option, Kc for N2 plus O2 gives rise to 2NO in A and B are equal. Fourth option, Kp for N2 plus O2 gives us 2NO in A and B are in the ratio 2:1. So here Kp and Kc does not change with the concentration. Does not change with the concentration. Kp and Kc, this means Kp and Kc do not depend upon the concentration. So here concentration is different, 1 mole of N2 and 1 mole of O2. Here is 2 moles of N2 and 2 moles of O2. So concentrations are different. So Kp and Kc does not change with the concentration, do not depend upon the concentration. So both the cases are same. So look at the 42 question, third option is correct. Kc for N2 plus O2 gives rise to 2NO in A and B are equal. So both are equal. Kc and Kp does not change with concentration. Kc and Kp do not depends upon the concentration. So 42 question, third option is correct. Next question number 44. Look at the question number 44. In the reaction, NH4 HS gives rise to NH3 plus H2S. On doubling the concentration of ammonia, the equilibrium concentration of H2S is. So first letter equation, NH4HS solid gives rise to NH3 gas plus H2S gas. Next, what is the data is given is on doubling the concentration of ammonia, the equilibrium concentration of H2S. So here is a concentration of ammonia is doubling. So concentration of ammonia is going to get increases. Doubling the concentration of ammonia, then what is the ammonia, the equilibrium concentration of H2S we have to find out. Equilibrium concentration of H2S we have to find out. So here Kc value, to maintain the constant Kc value, so here concentration of ammonia is going to get increases, then concentration of H2S is going to get decreases. To maintain the constant Kc value, first we have to write Kc value for this case. So Kc is equal to NH3 concentration and H2S concentration. So here is NH3 concentration is going to get increases double, and H2S concentration is going to get decreases by half, because to maintain the constant Kc value. So Kc value do not depends upon the concentration. To maintain the constant Kc value, the concentration of H2S decreases to half. Look at the options. Question number 43, reduce it to half of its initial value. So when the concentration of ammonia is increases double, then the value of concentration of H2S decreases to half of its initial value. So question number 43, first option is correct. Reduce it to half its initial value. So question number 43, option 1 is correct.